talked about as far as portion control is concerned, what about that whole issue with portion control and desserts?
It's holiday time. You're going to have your dessert no matter what. So you eat a little less so you can have that dessert.
Right. Just be aware.
Yes.
That I'm getting ready to eat a lot.
Yes.
So preparation.
Right.
Yes.
And here's another a way of thinking about it too. Like the week before Thanksgiving,
Right.
cut back on your food. So when Thanksgiving comes,
You say so.
just cut back on the amount of food that you eat. So when Thanksgiving comes, you know you're going to eat a lot, so you're going to make up for the food that you stopped eating.
That's
that
true.
Week.
That's true.
So you're just
That's
preparing your body for that
You
Thanksgiving
gotta have
day.
a game plan. You gotta have a game plan.
So
And that's just all the time, just being prepared so you don't. And you know that, you're going to be eating extra at this particular times, and that, okay, I'm going to not eat. I'm going to save my dessert for that time.
Right.
Or I'm going to not eat quite so much.
Right.
So that afterward, when January comes,
Absolutely.
I'm like now
Absolutely.
making those
resolutions.
so-called resolutions
that we don't keep.
Most people don't keep.
Right.
Because it all carries all the way into the new year.
Right.
And, people tend to like, well, I'm going to eat all I want now. And then when January comes in, I'm going to start my diet.
Right.
No, you don't want to do that.
Right.
Right.
And if you're going to, don't stress. The other thing is that I tell my clients to, if you're going to, allow yourself that sweet, it's like look forward to that. And don't do it with guilt.
That's
There
true.
you go.
Don't
That's
overdo
real
it.
true.
Right.
But don't sit there eating like, well, we talked about energy before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, I know I shouldn't be eating this. Well, then if you feel that
That's
mindset,
true.
well, don't eat it. Leave it alone.
That's true. Especially when you say it out loud.
Yeah. Girl, you
Right, you don't need to eat that.
Is that your third piece
Right.
of pie?
Right.
That's your third piece of pie.
Won't they do that?
Don't do three. Do
Okay.
one.
Right.
Why are you counting?
Don't worry about it.
Be on business.
Because
Stay out of mind.
that's one of the pieces they wanted. And you got to it first.
That's true.
That's what it was.
True.
You know it's my That's what it is. That's how you know it's my third one, because you were getting ready to get that one, and I got to it first.
True. The last roll. Last
you
piece of
you be
bread.
scoping it out while you're still
The
eating.
whole
Just-
time. The whole time. And somebody messed it up.
Hopefully by the time I finish this thing, one's still there. Because I sure do want to go to some good old rolls.
That is so true.
Those once a year.
It
I had a
is.
friend that
we
made
get to
the
eat that.
best yeast rolls on the face of the earth, as far as I was concerned.
Can't beat it.
Oh my gosh, I think it's a good thing I didn't get to eat them often, because I would probably just
Same
eat them
thing.
because they would taste so good.
Mhm.
But
Same
she
thing
only
here.
made them at certain times of the year.
Same thing here.
So, but just still having that control.
Still having that control.
You still have to have that control no matter if the holiday time or if it's not holiday time.
That's true.
You have to have that control.
Gotta have a plan.
Right.
Gotta have a
That's it.
plan.
That's it.
Gotta have some balance. Gotta have some balance in there. You talking about Rose? I was thinking about that too. My grandmother, all excellent cooks, and when we would get together for the holidays, I thought because the food tasted so the bomb good that it was really an easy process to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Because they get up at 5 in the morning. Yeah, and the house starts smelling,
Right.
and everybody would be all excited about it and stuff, and they start calling people to have duties and stuff. I'm like, oh no, I'm not peeling no potato, no.
So what you want me to
none of
bring?
that, right. None of that stuff.
I'll bring the
What-
packets.
What I'm thinking about is, that if you're gonna have an enjoyable meal, that part of it could be that family preparation together. You know what I'm saying? That's a good time to start it, and that's something that you can continue throughout the year. It's family time with preparation. Plus, if you know what you're preparing, then you get to decide what goes into it, and what's not. But everybody's not a cook or a baker or whatever.
Right. That's true.
But if you make healthier choices for the items that even if you're bringing, because a lot of people will bring, but read some labels sometimes and see how much is in this or that.
Because then, most people go back and say, well, that's how my mom used to make it. And,
Right.
the extra butter or the extra cream, but it's okay, let's just change a little bit of things.
Right.
And it still tastes good.
Modify.
It still tastes good.
That's that's critical.
Now I'm gonna
That's
tell
critical.
you the truth about me.
And butter.
When I make something, you already know. Since you know I'm going, I don't cook. But with every now and then I'll cook, macaroni and cheese
Mhm.
and those type of things. And because I don't do it often,
Mhm.
I go all the way.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
4 cheeses, maybe
Mhm.
2 sticks of butter,
Mhm.
and to where it's just brimming off the top.
Right.
But it's not something that you're going to get from me or I'm going
Right.
to fix for myself very often.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, if you're going to go all the way. But you also, but knowing that, I know I can only do small portions
That's
of
true.
that because it's an awful lot.
It is.
And then also make sure I have more fresh vegetables.
Right.
Something to scrub the walls
Right.
of everything. The
Got
arteries,
you.
get the arteries cleaned out.
Got you.
Right.
And know that you can't do this
Right.
often.
But on that
Right.
note, like you talk about macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my husband's a diabetic, so I decided for one Thanksgiving, let me change the recipe for macaroni and cheese. So I made the macaroni and cheese, but I didn't tell anyone.
Right. Right.
They tore that macaroni
Right.
and
Difference.
cheese up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
So-
rice noodles.
So.
I
Okay.
did all organic cheeses, and I
Right.
don't like the yellow cheese, so everything
Yeah,
was so
it's
white
white.
macaroni and cheese.
It's a
It was
white
the
Christmas.
best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you I feel with the greens and the stuff,
Right.
and the yams,
Very
you
nice.
get some color to your plate.
There
Very
you go.
nice.
And
Very
then
nice.
it
Very
was
nice.
the best. So now I make that macaroni and cheese every year.
I like that. I like that. I do.
So it's good. I mean,
It's
you
very
do, and
good.
like you said, see, the thing is, everybody doesn't have to listen to me. I just say what I do, but you also have to take in consideration people's health conditions.
Right.
Right.
So you
That's
want
very
everybody,
true.
because you can't cook, and I do know how to cook
Right.
Right.
without all that.
She said, "Let me put
You
it
know,
out there."
Yeah, I do. I know how to cook without all that. And you can make foods well. Like my family always loved my greens.
Right.
And I stopped doing pork years ago, but then I would do a turkey.
Yes.
But now I do without any meat, and no one knows the difference.
Right.
I'm sorry. I do too. I have to be
Right.
No
described
one
on
knows
that.
the
Yes.
difference.
That's good.
You
That's
know,
good.
but it was a process.
It's
It was
a
a process.
process.
It's like, okay,
Right.
I don't have to do this. Okay, let me put a little meat. Now when I cook, I don't even think about smoked
That is
turkey or
good.
anything.
That is good. And it
But
is.
it's a process. It wasn't like I've been doing it all my life.
Right.
Right.
But like you said, a lot of conditions, you want to either consider or prevent.
Right.
So you have to consider if someone's diabetic, if they have high blood pressure. You want
All of
everybody to
that.
be able to enjoy.
All of that. All of that.
Generally, if you cook for the person who may have some dietary concerns or restrictions,
Mm-hmm.
you can cook for them, and you can cook so everybody can enjoy
Right.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Okay. Now you mentioned, or maybe I'm thinking it, alcohol. Just putting it out there.
Mhm.
Around the holidays, or for some people, not around the
All
holidays,
the
just
time.
whatever, because
Mhm.
life is,
Right.
people do what you do to cope. But alcohol consumption around the holidays, who can give me some rule of thumb, maybe? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can say don't drink a
Don't
whole
drink,
lot,
yeah,
but what
right.
does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What's a good?
Me, I just think it's just like any other time of year. I think especially during the holiday seasons and people celebrating a lot more things during between Thanksgiving and
Mhm.
after to New
Right.
Year's, because
Mhm.
it goes from that point till then, that people just have to, I just say, be moderate, still be conscious of what you're doing.
Right.
And I think it probably just goes back to what everybody says, don't drink and drive.
Absolutely.
Always make
Absolutely.
sure, if that's what you do and that's what you're going to do,
Mhm.
and everybody
Have
knows
a plan.
have a plan.
Have a
Right.
plan.
To know
Have a
that
plan.
don't say I only had 1 or 2 drinks, I can drive myself home. No,
Mhm.
get someone, because most people know someone that they can get who's not going to drink.
Mhm.
I was always the DD,
The designated driver, right?
because they
Right.
was like, well, she's not going to drink anything.
Right, right.
So, and it's like, fine.
Teach
I'd
his
rather,
own. Sure.
or if you're going to be at family's house and you feel like you've had too much, plan to stay overnight.
Absolutely.
And make it, have that discussion before
That's
you
true.
get to that
That's
point.
true.
You
That's
know,
true.
I may, we know we get together, we have a good
Right.
time. Let's just decide we're going to have a sleepover.
That's
Right.
true.
And
That's
also,
true.
I think the family member, if they see one of the other family members that had a little bit too much to drink, I think they need to take the keys and
Say something.
say to them,
Right.
say, hey, but you can't drive, or I will take you home.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Which is
I'll
a
wait
good
here
idea.
till, you know, if we had to do the taxi cab thing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm going to go take so-and-so home. I'll come back and get you and I'll take you home.
Exactly.
And, you know, because the thing that you don't want is that you wish you had.
Yes.
You know, you don't want the stress, again, going back to stress.
Right.
You would rather not
Right.
have the stress of like, well, maybe I should have.
Right.
Right.
Have a plan. I
Right.
love that you
Just
say
give
that
it-
so
have
much
a plan.
because
Right.
a plan can solve so many issues. And it
It
doesn't have
can.
to be strict. It just
It
has
can.
to be okay.
Right.
We know we're going to be getting together and, you know, so we're going to stay here or
Right.
whatever, you know,
Right.
or, you know, just say, well, maybe you just say, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to drink that
Right.
much this time.
It can happen. It can happen.
And
It
then
can
you know
happen.
your family and friends, you know who drinks and who don't.
Yes, you
Mhm.
do.
So you know, like, okay, I know Roberta don't drink, so
Right.
if I have a
The
couple,
girl.
I know she's gonna take
Yeah.
care of me. She's gonna take me home, or I can get to
Mhm.
stay.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All of
Just
that.
let it be known, okay? You know, just in case. Can you take me home?
Right.
You know, or even before that day, like you said, a week
All of
before, a few
that.
days before. You know, or if you don't drink and you know there's going to be drinking, you make the plan. It's like, well, I know I don't
Right.
drink, so I know somebody's
Right.
going to be there drinking. I'm just going to take it upon myself to volunteer
Right.
to take them home in
That's a
case
new
they do
twist.
it.
I like
Yes.
that.
You
That's a
know,
new
instead
twist.
because that person, you know,
That's
you
a new
don't-
twist.
You just have to know. Let me decide on my own that, okay, I'll just decide to be, in case it's needed, I'll
Right.
be available to drive.
That's a new
Yes.
twist.
Home.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do. I like
Take
that.
take it on, don't wait.
That's
Because
a-
everybody won't think that to ask.
Not at
Right.
the time when
No,
I'm drinking.
because
I'm
I'm
not
not
thinking
I'm
I'm
thinking
drinking.
about what I'm doing
Right.
now right now. It's like,
something
I'm
totally
here
different.
Right. Right.
but I may say, well, okay, I know Uncle Joe, you know, he gets a
Absolutely.
little lit.
Absolutely.
So I'll just say, plan to, okay, I know Uncle Joe, about after so many drinks, he's going to be a little toasty.
I like that.
So even if I can't stay, I'll come back. And Uncle Joe, you stay here, I'm going to get you.
I like that. And
Or I'll
they
come
would
pick
appreciate
up,
that.
go pick
They
him
would
up from the
appreciate
beginning.
Even
so
at
he
that.
has to get home some kind
That's
of way.
true. That's
a
true.
good
He
idea,
doesn't
too.
have to pick up the keys. I don't have to worry
Right.
about
I
taking
like
Uncle
that.
Joe's keys because
Right.
he
I like
can't
that.
get home because I brought Uncle Joe.
Right.
And that's
I like
less
that.
stress for him,
Yes,
less stress for you, and for the people
everyone
there.
else.
I like that.
You know, so
I like
That's a
that.
good
That's
idea.
real good.
Thank you, girls.
That's why you with us. I like that. Let's
Make it
do
45
that.
minutes now.
There you go.